Hey everybody, BK with another Silver Savage podcast here, and today I have a special one for you. This is actually going to be a two-parter podcast where the first part I'm going to talk about relationship with yourself, with others around you. Not to beat a dead horse, we did a whole podcast about relationships in the past and a few more granular elements. This is going to be a little bit more of the four levels or the four layers of love and relationships that you should have with people around you. And then I'm inviting my son Boaz, who just turned 11, to join our podcast today and get his point of view on life. So with no further ado, welcome to the episode. So today's podcast is going to have two elements to it. I actually recorded earlier a little discussion with my older of two boys, with Boaz, who just turned 11 today. So asking him a few questions about life lessons, and I want to share that with you. And the other portion is the first one that I'm actually going to discuss is discussing relationships in general, but I know we discussed relationships in the past. I just want to reinforce a few points because it's been coming up in conversations that I've had with our coaching clients, conversations that I had with friends recently, and even internally within my family. So I want to make sure that I hit on those today. So let's start with the relationships. Honestly, the only thing I want to discuss in terms of relationships is that there are four types of relationships, and we tend to get hooked on one or two of those, and we forget the other, and we forget how interconnected they are. So if I'm going to put them in hierarchy, in level of not necessarily importance, but in ease or accessibility to that relationship or to the love that comes with that relationship, we're going to start with the very basic one, and that's ourselves. Listen, whether you want to or not, there is only one person you are guaranteed to spend the rest of your life with, and that's you. So if you do not have a good relationship with yourself, if you do not love yourself, you're en route to a world of hurt. Because if you always hard on yourself, if you do not appreciate what you've done, if you do not encourage yourself, if you're not your own best friend, then you're going to have some issues. It's going to be very hard for you to love, appreciate, and have a relationship with somebody else if your relationship with yourself is lacking. And to that end, I'll refer you guys back to an episode we did a while back where I talk about narcissism and how important it is for us to have a true appreciation of our own capability. It is not necessarily that narcissism is always a bad thing, but understanding what I'm capable of, being my best coach, because in those darkest hours when everybody is turning their back on you and nobody's giving you the support you want, you have to be your own biggest fan. So your first relationship is your love and your relationship to yourself. Not something that you have to think about too much, but arguably one of the hardest ones for us to accomplish, just because we overlook it, we oversee, we pass over it because we either take it for granted or we just assume that we don't deserve it, and we're going to put that to the side and move on and concentrate more on relationships with others. So I encourage you wholeheartedly to spend as much time as you can just with yourself, right? One practice that I tried implementing is when I wake up in the morning, I spend a few minutes by myself, either in bed or out of bed. And for a while there, my youngest daughter, who's just over 2 years old, was waking up as I was waking up. And in order to let my wife sleep and let her not have an interrupted night, I would take my daughter, and it kind of dug into my time with myself. And what I noticed is that it really affected the rest of my day. If I'm missing my time with myself, and when I say time with myself, it's not meditation. I don't do mirror affirmations. It's literally just sitting with myself, with my thoughts, acknowledging them, feeling, okay, this is how I'm feeling today. I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling stressed. I'm feeling energetic. I'm feeling driven. Giving life to those thoughts, acknowledging them, and taking whatever step I know need to be taken in order to work on that, right? So if my feelings are positive, if I'm waking up energetic, if I'm waking up driven, if I'm waking up with a lot of intent behind my actions, then I certainly want to keep on and doing those, and I want to move on to the rest of my day without energy propelling me forward. But if I wake up some days and I'm not feeling it, the past few days I've been fighting a cold, not feeling 100%. There's a lot of stress at home, with family, with work, and I have the opportunity in the morning when I acknowledge those feelings, to do something about it. And I've been pretty successful, I would say, over the past few days when those self-doubts creep in, to use positive self-talk to remind myself what I accomplished so far, what I am still accomplishing, and really change that mindset and that field of view to a more positive one as I move forward with the day. And I'll be honest, there's a lot of positive things going on. I'm saying I've been dealing with a lot of stress. None of it is negative. It's just part of life. I have so much going on, and it's all great, that it's overwhelming at times. So I need to remind myself the positive side of things so I can concentrate on that. So that's the first relationship, right? Our loving relationship to ourselves. The second one is kind of like the next level of how much work I have to put into it, is a relationship with our immediate family. I don't get to pick blood. My relatives, my parents, my siblings, my immediate family is just handed over to me. And honestly, I don't have to work much for that love. It's expected. It's a given. Now, I'll be the first one to say, not all blood relationships are strong or strong bonds, right? But I would argue that oftentimes that relationship is not strong. And I'm putting aside the whole concept of broken families or kids that are being given up by their parents and are in foster care and so forth. There's a lot of stuff that I don't understand or don't know enough from the social element of that. But if I talk about a nucleus family and I talk about a family where that love doesn't exist, it oftentimes is our decision not to love. So if I resent someone in my immediate family, it's because I made the conscious decision to do so. I start with a given love and relationship, and then I work backwards to negate it. But from a standpoint of how much effort I need to put into for the relationship or that love to be there, it's pretty minimal. If I just acknowledge that relationship, acknowledge that love, give that person the attention that they require, right, and I'm not being a complete asshole, then that relationship and that love is going to be there, and it's going to be always a given. I'm always going to love my siblings. I'm always going to love my parents. I'm always going to love my immediate family, my kids, obviously. And I don't need to put a lot into it, in the sense that it is just a given. So that is the second one, right? So we started with the first relationship is with ourselves, and that is just, it's there, right? The second relationship is with our immediate family. That's also pretty much there, and I got to work really hard in order to lose that love or to lose that relationship. The third one is with our significant other. That's the one that requires more work. And listen, no relationship is perfect. I'm yet to find one couple who will tell me that everything is perfect and dandy all the time. So this is the one that requires effort on our end. And when I say our significant other, I'm actually want to take that back, because it's not just excuse me, it is not just a significant other, it's also our close friends. So that is a relationship that requires us to invest into. Nobody's going to be your best friend or a great friend or a lover if you did not invest the time that you needed into that relationship. There may be an acquaintance, there may be a friend, right? But if you want that close-knit relationship, that requires work and a lot of work and intentional work. And that is where it's on us to devote that time to invest into that relationship and that love. And it's a two-way street, no doubt. If they are not reciprocating, that is going to be an issue. But oftentimes I can get them to reciprocate if I invest my share, if I put in my time, if I show somebody that I care about them, even if that wasn't on the forefront of their mind initially, me doing so, it's going to remind them, and I'm going to get that reciprocating action as well. So again, love with me, a relationship with myself, relationship with my immediate family, and then relationship with my close-knit friends, spouses, significant other, and so forth. And then the fourth level is my relationship with the community. I strive to have a close relationship with everybody, in the sense that I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. And when I say everybody, is my clients, my colleagues, my vendors, people that I come across in contact with, just walking into stores, shops, service providers, and so forth. I learned over time that everybody deserves respect, and sometimes I I feel bad that it took me that long to learn it. I'm not saying I learned it yesterday. I learned it years ago, right? But the reality is that it's something that should be a given, something I try to instill in my kids from day one, is you treat everybody with respect, and everybody deserves that benefit of the doubt until somebody does something to you, and then it's time to reevaluate. And if I was to add a fifth level of love and relationship, that would be love everybody unconditionally, regardless of what they've done to you, right? I'll be honest, I'm not yet there on that fifth level where I give everybody that love. But certainly I start by giving everybody the benefit of the doubt. I treat everybody with respect. I try to establish relationships everywhere I go. You never know what that relationship may turn into. Right, so just a quick little recap again on relationships, and I want you guys as an action item to take it back with you and kind of figure out as you go through the day, how much effort are you putting into those relationships? So first one, with yourself. Did you spend some time with yourself? Did you understand your own feelings, acknowledge them, give yourself some compassion and some leeway to go on about your day in the most positive manner? The second one is with our immediate family. Again, in theory, it doesn't require a lot of work, but the more work I put into it, the better. So one thing that I try to do is get disconnected from electronics for a while, which is hard for me as an entrepreneur and as someone that's been always very much attached to my phone and emails and texts, because everything can be detrimental to the business in a sense. But I learned that nothing can't wait till a little bit later in the day or even the next morning. So as a general rule, what I try to do is I try to, certainly during dinner, that's family time, my phone is away, it's never out, right? And even later when I just sit and watch TV with them or play a game with them, that phone is not around. So even your immediate family needs your undivided attention. The third one is your close relationship, spouse, close friends, and so forth. 15 minutes. That is the bare minimum that I told my wife I'll devote to her. So whether before we go to sleep or during the day, just sitting and talking for 15 minutes. How was your day? How's my day? What can I do for you to help you tomorrow? What are some needs that I'm not meeting, right? And so forth. So give them that time. Really invest into those relationships because they do require more work. That love is not a given. And you need to really work to foster it and to maintain it once it's there. And then the fourth one, as we said, is the community or other people around, and really just giving people the benefit of the doubt. Don't be an asshole yourself. Walk around the day, and if you acknowledge everybody, you say thank you, you appreciate what they've done for you, from packing groceries at the store to an attendant at a gas station to your clients, your vendors, your colleagues. Everybody is doing something for you. Don't take it for granted. Don't be a complete obnoxious individual, and give them the benefit of the doubt. So that is as far as relationships are concerned. With that said, you're going to see a little cut because I recorded that earlier, but I am going to invite my son, Boaz, who's turning 11 today, as we said, and ask him a few questions. See what it's like to be an 11-year-old nowadays. So, hope you enjoyed that. So today we have a very special guest. Or me, he looks like me. Does he? Does he not? I don't know. Maybe with long hair.
In high school.
In high school. When I was in high school, not when you were in high school.
Yes.
But Boaz, my older of two sons, is turning 11 today. Figure it's going to be a good opportunity to ask him a few questions about life, some lessons he learned over his last decade on Earth, and some aspirations for the next decade on Earth if he behaves and makes it that far. So Boaz, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
Yep. How does it feel being 11?
It feels good.
Yeah? Anything new than being 10? You'll have to speak a little louder.
Longer time to be annoyed by my brother.
Longer time to be annoyed by your brother. So does he annoy you often?
Yes, very much.
What do you do when he annoys you?
Either punch him or walk away from him.
Which option is preferred?
Punch him.
I don't know if that's a right answer or wrong answer. Anyways, that aside, let's can I ask you a few questions?
Sure.
All right. So what are some of your favorite things to do?
Go shooting with you and play baseball.
Okay. Do you like baseball better than football?
No.
Okay. So why do you want to go play baseball?
I'd rather watch football than play football, but I like playing football too. Baseball is, I just like the sound of hitting the ball.
Okay.
And it's satisfying when
Sounds good.
you catch it.
So you like going shooting. What are some lessons that you learned when you go shooting?
So lessons that I learn, number one, the noise level.
What about it? Is it too loud?
Very loud.
Very loud?
I wouldn't say it's too loud. Number two, the amount of kick that the different bullets have and different guns when it's being shot. The effect.
Did you learn anything about respecting the tool?
Finger off the trigger. Until you're ready to shoot. That's one big thing, because if you don't do that, then that's going to be how you shoot something you don't want to.
Okay, so that's a safety rule. That's correct.
Also, always make sure you have the safety feature on or off.
Safety on or off, depending on the firearm, right? What else do you want to do? Let me ask you about some life lessons. So you and I work out together, right?
Yes.
And recently we went on a run and you could not complete it. Remember that day? It was a Sunday run. But I finished running, right? And then I got home. And how did that feel, not finishing the run?
It felt really bad.
Really bad?
I regretted that the rest of the day.
Yep. And did we learn any lessons from it?
Just don't quit.
Okay. It's a big one, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I know some adults that didn't learn that lesson yet. So that's good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what do we always say? We don't lose. We either win or we learn. And learning is a winning, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was another opportunity where you had a soccer game.
Yes.
And the soccer game was an away game.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys started well and then you ended up losing.
Yeah.
And you were very upset, right? But then we did three things. One thing is we reminded ourselves, or we reminded you, some things that you did well, right? You played well that game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we reminded ourselves some of the good things that happened. And then we learned some from the things that didn't happen too well, right? What did we learn from that game?
We just need to play better on offense. We need to make sure everyone on defense isn't scared of the ball and pays attention to what's going on instead of looking at butterflies.
Yeah, butterflies are important, but not during a soccer game. And then the third thing we did was we tried to apply it, right? So the next game, you played better.
Yeah.
Right? So
You didn't lose by as much.
You didn't lose by as much. Well, considering your team was put up together like the last minute, that was pretty good. Now, so those three lessons is something we can apply in life always, right? Is we always learn from our failures, right? So when we don't win, or when we lose, we figure out what we did well, right?
And what we did wrong.
What we did wrong, what are some opportunities, right? And then we apply those, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So did you ever find yourself using those lessons in school or in other things? Like when you catch yourself when you're not doing too well? Because you're very hard on yourself sometimes, right?
Sometimes if I do bad on a test, I get very self-conscious and I'll get really annoyed, and that'll push me to try harder on the next one.
Okay.
In school. Just playing sports in general, that happens a lot.
Okay. So do you keep learning though?
Yeah.
Do we keep practicing?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Every game, every practice something new.
Awesome. Now we had another learning opportunity recently. We were driving home after I picked you guys up from your mother, right? And we were talking about making your bed,
Yes.
right? So
I still don't do that.
you don't. Your brother started doing it, right?
Yes.
But what was it important to make your bed?
When you start off by making your bed, then it pushes you to do more stuff, to try harder during the day.
Right. And if the day didn't go too well, then at least you're coming back to a made bed. Right?
Knowing that you actually accomplished some stuff during the day.
Right. So, but you may not be doing your bed yet, but you started doing other things. Like I remember the last time I had you over a weekend, you had the option between working out or just spending time on the iPad. And what did you choose to do?
I chose to work out, and I ended up running 3 miles.
That was awesome, right? Okay, so we're making better choices, right? So that is great. What is some advice you can give another 11-year-old kid?
Don't give up. Try hard to do anything you want, whether it's sports or do well in school. Just, I'm going to quote a movie here. Don't think, just do.
What movie is that from?
Top Gun.
Oh, Oh, you get so many prop points for that one, for quoting Top Gun. Okay. I will mention that recently you also quoted Die Hard.
Yes.
So that made me very proud indeed. Awesome. So for your birthday, what is one thing you want to do this afternoon?
Go shooting.
Go shooting? Okay, we'll see if we can do that. It's a little cold outside. All right.
I never hurt anyone. Nicole never hurt anyone.
Unless you're Israeli. But we can discuss that separately. I'm kind of proud that you want to go shooting, so we'll see. Sorry, my cough is killing me today. Awesome. Well, buddy, I'm super proud of you. I love you so much, and I'm happy you came on our podcast for about 7 minutes. So, anything you want to say to anybody else before I let you go?
Don't give up and try hard in anything you want to do.
Beautiful. Love you.
Love you.
So that was it with Boaz. I guess I'm going shooting. But before I do, just wanted to leave you with this. Please, please, please remember to keep sharing, commenting, and subscribing to this channel if you haven't. That's the only way we grow. Hopefully we add value to you. If we do add value, let others know as well. If you are interested in a coaching program, certainly shoot me a message. We are opening the second wave, so we are now accepting more applicants for our coaching program. We got some great feedback from the first group, and I'm excited to share with others. We have a lot of new technologies and tools that we'll be using. So if you have any questions about that, certainly direct message me. And until next time, stay savage.